Let me know down below if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Because if you can hear me tonight, then we got 50% of this little show going. And that's already a lot. That's already a lot. And how are you lovely, lovely, sexy looking people doing? You know, we haven't seen each other for 2 days here, and I still got my military pants on, right? So they're making noise here, but you know, but anyway. So you can see I still got my fella here, right? He has to take care of me. He's a little tired, but he's always here. Thank God. But you know, once in a while, you know, I am telling him, you know what? It's okay. You can go and have a nap. Yeah. So take it easy. Take it easy. You don't have to be here. I think we are safe. I think we're safe. And you know what? Thanks, only thanks. I mean, we got to be honest now. Only thanks to good old Uncle Joe. What did you do, Uncle Joe? What did you do? Oh, look, there's a he just wants to make sure that everything's okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah, he has an idea. Anyway, no, a little fun by his side. You can see there are things to talk about, and we are gonna go through that. And now we can see we got this soldier here running around here in the studio. I mean, I don't know. We are safe. We are safe, and I think. But you know what the most important thing is? And I did mention 3 days ago, I did say, could it be that that Biden, with his low approval ratings, that he's gonna, you know, kind of like, you know, Russia just didn't invade? Because I mean, here where I am right now, live from Ukraine, it is 00:57. That means it's 57 minutes ago that we were supposed to see this invasion, right? And nothing happened. Nothing happened. Anyway. We will go and talk about that because there was some talks about that. I mean, I think my view is this is gonna last a little bit longer, but I mean, it is, from my point of view, it's completely exaggerated, especially, and I have to reiterate that I live here. I mean, it can be something is gonna come, but this thing here is really mass hysteria. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Anyway, guys. Then of course we're gonna have a look at the markets, and I also have I do have a view on the market too, and that's about it. But I need to ask you to just enjoy, you know, I have a little, you know, 30-40 seconds of a little more music. I'll be here, you can see me, but I just need to set up a little bit more. I hope that's okay. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know I love you, but I'm right here, so you know, see you in 30-40 seconds. Yeah, so of course the first thing we have to do is to look at the level of market manipulation. That just doesn't go without that. Boom, and I love it. You can see here, sometimes there's just some days, I don't know why, it just doesn't, the windows don't fit. Alright guys, I have to say, I mean, I'm tired of this here every time I open up. Anyway, there we go. We got the 4 charts, and that's also good. You know, better late than never. And what are we seeing? We are looking at the 5-minute chart, and again, I have to say, you know, there are better times during the day where I maybe would prefer streaming, but it's funny. This time of the hour is the time for market manipulation, and we can see that here again, right? I mean, in the last, what is this? Is, you know, we can maybe, you know, we can see it here. It went up. But then again, so now we got Bitcoin at 44,165, up 3.3%. We got Ethereum up 6%, 3,128. And I actually think this is kind of interesting because I almost have the feeling, I almost have the feeling that that Ethereum, this is the time when Ethereum perhaps is actually taking over Bitcoin. I mean, I kind of feel like that has been like that for a long time, but I think we could maybe see it. So we're going to look at those charts. But again, you can see here, it's also funny here. Why there's, you look at Polkadot up 5.8%, almost at 20, right? So quite good. But then again, we got Cardano at 1.2. We got to say Cardano hasn't really, you know, hasn't done as good as it should in the last few months, but it is kind of interesting what we're seeing here. Have a look at Bitcoin. I got to take these. Oh, no. So, okay, what are we seeing here on the daily? Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, the trend is your friend. That's, yeah, I mean, still hard for me. It's funny. I can only say there's a lot of, usually this, you can look at the market and you can be very optimistic and you can be excited and you can be convinced that we're going in one direction or the other. Here, it's kind of like I have a view that this is kind of like a false breakout. And the reason why I like to use Ethereum, that's also why when I just said to you, I think that Ethereum is taking over both in a good sense and in a bad sense, because we look here at Ethereum, as I told you before, it's a clear and not, it's a lower high, it's a lower low. I think this is going to be a fake breakout. That's what I pretty much think, and I think we're gonna go down. And I'm not gonna make a purple line, but I am gonna make a line because I'm pretty confident that that's gonna happen. I don't know how lines. It also doesn't. I think we're gonna go down. We're gonna go down to, yeah. In that sense, I like to use Bitcoin because that's why we need my purple lines, because we're gonna certainly go down to the 40. I don't care about that. We're certainly gonna go down and hit the level of 930. I think that's where we are going. I don't see. I'm gonna call it. This is a number one projection. I'm certain, 100%. No, not 100%. Nobody's 100%. This is not financial advice at all. But I've said before many times, I do believe that there are certain areas where we're gonna get certain coins, right? Remember, and I'm still convinced that we're gonna get them at those prices, and we need to go down. That's just where we have to go. So I think up here a little. I think there's not, I could be wrong, and that's also why you should go to so many other channels. And all I can say is I'm cautious optimistic, but I don't see it different. But again, talking about the Bitcoin and the Ethereum, right? Because if you look at Bitcoin, but this is what makes it interesting, because Bitcoin has a higher high, right? So that means we could see a breakup. I mean, it is really funny. It's like you got Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Bitcoin has a higher high, could potentially, but then I think that Ethereum has the bigger say. I mean, it could go really both ways. I think nobody wants to hear more about that. So I want to go in and look at the overall. Thing. We are up good. It's just boring, right? Because we're up good. But I mean, we are actually not, it depends on which timeline you look at it. Because now let's go back again and look at Bitcoin. I mean, if we look at when we had the all-time high, that was back November, right? And then since then, it's just been going down. And so, okay, we are up a little, but it's for the majority of new investors, this is not so sexy. Not sexy times, to be honest. It's troubling times. It's worrying times. And then, Cardano at 110, yeah, great, right? But people want to see it at $2, at $3. So it's like we're just dumpling. Not a lot of interest, even though it's nice to see it's up. And yeah, I still don't have any like real specific on the new on individual coins. Of course, it was good 2 days ago. I did say, hey, I need to add some curve to Katie's portfolio. We did that at 280, and then now it's at 312. But I mean, it's just we're really not having a clear direction. But we've got good news. So let's go in and have a look at the news. So that we can see that the fundamental news are good news from the war. They're not the best, but yeah, I don't have, just scrolling through here, it's good to see overall market manipulation. It's manipulated by the whales. Everything is going up. It's torn down a little, but besides that, it is, I don't know what. But yeah, Maps is nice. This is something that you actually should look at. 36 million. Everything I say and do here is not financial advice. As you know, I don't know shit about crypto, but you should do your own research. But one thing that I would advise you to be long term, base it on fundamentals. That's the research I would recommend. So, but remember that. Here we go. I'm going to run you through some market news that we have collected that I think are good from a fundamental perspective, and that is still what we have to base our long-term investment philosophy on. So I don't know if you guys know Bahrain. Bahrain is a GCC country down in the Middle East, between Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and all of them, and Oman and so on. It's a poor country. Those are, but anyway, a poor one of the GCC. Anyway, and it's small. It's so small. It's like smaller than a city. But anyway, so Bahrain's central bank completes cross-border transfer test use JP Morgan blockchain. Whoa, JP Morgan blockchain. The transfer, which was carried out in partnership with Bank ABC, is the latest step taken by the CBB as it prepares to launch its digital currency, right? Now, you guys, you did not know that Bahrain, they were all on the blockchain. You didn't know that, did you now? So what are we seeing here? So also through the institution partners, CBB will attempt to address and eliminate the inefficiency. Anyway, so we can just see it all over the globe. Are we seeing the implementation of the blockchain? And as I like to point out here, I do believe that we will see mass adoptions once the Web 3.0 is up and running, and we are seeing small governments as big governments implementing their central bank digital currency. And this is all, thanks to Mr. August, who is the managing director of the Bank for International Settlements, which is basically mother of all central banks. Thank you, August. So anyway, move on. The digital ruble trial goes live, right? So it's also fun. It's almost like we got the geopolitics on the right and we got the money news on the left. And there we got the Russian central bank has officially launched the digital ruble trial, successfully completing the first central bank digital currency CBDC transfers among citizens, the Bank of Russia announced Tuesday. Now, I want to ask you a question. Isn't it funny that we are seeing fear-mongering and everybody's scared and talking about invasions, but somehow when it comes to the money, they're all on the same page. No fights there, no disagreements. Everything just gets done. Both Bahrain and Russia. Furthermore, the Russian ministry wants to legalize Bitcoin mining in specific areas. Now, I don't know if there's, so Russia's Ministry of Economic Development has greenlighted the concept of crypto mining regulation in the country, proposing to allow mining operations in areas with sustainable surplus in electricity generation. Now, you probably will be surprised that most of these future mining devices, where I think that, the processors or, the cheap, whatever you need there, the hardware will probably, as I said last time, come from Intel, because Intel, have also gotten into the ring, and as we know, it's going to be quicker and more cost efficient, and then the money gets, for the hardware given to the right player. So, yeah, that's so good. So far, so good, right? Russia. DBS Bank, which is Singapore's largest bank, is working on expanding its cryptocurrency exchange beyond its current investor base of institutional clients. We do know that Singapore is very far ahead also regarding money the CBDC. But the DBS Bank, which I actually forgot, which is it really from Singapore? But it's, yeah, kind of. But anyway, Singapore is like, it's also funny that you will see that it's always obviously the smaller states and countries that launch these, CBDCs. And the sand dollar, the first trial was the Bahamas. I've told you before, I've lived in the Bahamas when I was little, and I, go there once in a while. And let me put it like this. I love the Bahamians. I truly do. I mean, love. But I just don't see them as being the country of innovation to take on, to be the first country that launches the CBDC. You see, I believe that they have other concerns than launching a currency on the blockchain. But hey, things may have changed since I was there last time. So anyway, so the DBS Bank also expects to significantly boost its crypto trading platform either in the first half of the first 3 quarters of this year. It's also funny how they just, they got all the time in the world. No hurry here. The bank specifically plans to make the access to the digital assets a lot more convenient by enabling instant online deposits and transactions without relying much on banking intermediaries. There's going to be, I also think you should, as I said, in one video we launched here last week, you got to follow the money. We're also going to see, when I say follow the money, who's it going to benefit and who is it not going to benefit? And one thing that you got to watch out for, I think, doesn't maybe concern you so much, but we have, over the past 100 years, we have seen the amount of, I would say, traditional banks having decreased. And what we've seen very dramatically in the last 10 years is not only, so the few banks that we did have left, that they would also close down their shop on the corner. And this trend is going to continue going. There's only really going to be a very few little, small amount of banks left. Well, let's see if DBS is going to be one of them. It seems to be. So what else do we have here? Crypto at the Olympics. That's another thing. You see, these are the signs of mass adoption, right? So we got NFT skis and Bitcoin bobsledders and CBDC controversy. The 2022 Winter Olympics, I mean, I don't know. Do you watch it? I don't watch it. I mean, I like Anthony Joshua, and he's also no good anymore. So, but anyway, so officially called the Olympic Winter Games kicked off the February, a long time in Beijing, with crypto being a major part of the event. It's just funny, right? The government, some of the government, China and Russia don't like the West, and the West, they don't like the East, and somehow they're just making damn sure that that the future of finance is going to be interoperable. Isn't that funny? Anyway, so they start up Beijing with the crypto being a major part of the event, partly because of the Chinese government's digital currency ambitions. Now, you would think, right? Because China, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They must know that the entire world are calling their digital currency like a surveillance mechanism, and the whole world is not talking great about that. So I don't know, maybe Chinese wants to come out and say, hey, we have it. We are a surveillance state. We keep communism. Don't you make a mistake about that? I don't know. But anyway, the 2022 Winter Olympics, however, are making history due to the presence of non-fungible tokens. Bitcoin supported athletes, the launch of the world's first major central bank digital currency, and their potential use. Isn't that also funny that the Olympics in that year, when, I mean, China is a world power, right? When they have launched their first CBDC. You see, China has been ahead in many things for the past, 50, 100 years. We all know we don't underestimate China's ingenuity, the dedication, their motivation to become a great nation. And so it's just funny, right? They were the first big country, big nation to launch it. And maybe, I don't know, I haven't been there, but let's see if everybody who goes there and somehow, if you want to enter the Olympics, it's on the blockchain or you kind of use it. I don't know. Probably just thinking about that. That could be worth analyzing, because if people have a good experience and it works, well, then, then it's a good picture of what the central bank digital currency can do on the blockchain. So the launch of the world's first major central digital currency on their potential use as a payment method in a country that has effectively banned cryptocurrency trading and mining last year. This is scary, right? Because this is the real true contradiction. The launch of the first major central bank digital currency, and then in a country that have banned mining and cryptocurrency. So I think what you also have to, the narrative that you have to keep for the future is, it's not DeFi versus CeFi, it's actually the CBDC versus the cryptocurrency. And now at least we also got a name for who are, in the ring. Just like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. So next on to Sister Crystalline from the IMF. And we know Sister Crystalline, and we know the BIS, Bank for International Settlements, the IMF, of course the World Bank, and all these great organizations that are spreading lots of goodies around the world. Grandmother Crystalline, we know her. She is all about how great this CBDC is. I don't think that this little, transition could do it better. Crypto is no match for the well-designed central bank digital currency. The managing director of the International Monetary Fund, Crystalline, that's how I like to call her, It says that crypto assets and stablecoins are no match for a well-designed central bank digital currencies. The funny thing is, she couldn't even spell a CBDC when I met her 3 years ago. But don't tell that to nobody. So if CBDCs are designed prudently, they can potentially offer more resilience, more safety, greater availability, lower cost, freedom of speech, democracy, millionaires, and turn you and straight in to one among the 1%, she said. That was a little bit of a joke. Well, anyway, noting that central banks have moved beyond conceptual discussions regarding digital currencies and are in the experimentation phase, she noted. I should say that. So these are still early days with CBDCs, and we don't quite know how far and how fast they will go. But one thing I can guarantee you, Kristalina, she's excited. So, what else do we got here? Yeah, Binance, decentralized blockchain ecosystem, Binance Smart Chain. So they announced that it's taking a new name, so that it's gonna be called the BNB chain. This I'm not on top of it enough. So, well, why not read it together? Then maybe I also get on top of it. The decentralized blockchain ecosystem Binance Smart Chain today announced that it is taking a new name, BNB Chain, in a bid to reflect its connection with the native token of the ecosystem, Binance Coin. That makes sense, right? So BNB now stands for Build and Build. What is it that Biden, he says? Build back better? Build back better. It almost sounds like that. Build and build. Build and build. Build back better. That's what good old Uncle Joe says. I also asked him, what does that stand for? He said, of course, it's no. Well, anyway, so Build and Build, instead of short for Binance Coin, powered by BNB, the BNB chain would introduce advanced capabilities and focus on building Web 3.0 infrastructure. Under the freshly named BNB chain umbrella, the chain governance part, the Binance chain where staking and voting happens, has become BNB Beacon Chain. On the other hand, the EVM compatible multi-chain supporting Binance Smart Chain is simply named BNB Smart Chain, still short on species. You see, that's also, I think in which direction this is going is, I think on the Binance Smart Chain as of now, you could only, you couldn't really transfer, the NFTs. And I think this upgrade is going to make this BNB chain both interoperable, but certainly also that you can do some NFT monkey business on there. So it's going to be, in line with the upgrade of ETH 2.0. India. It's a lot of geopolitics, a lot of country news here today. India, cryptocurrencies not legal, right? I don't know, not legal yet, maybe. So there we got the union minister said cryptocurrencies are not legal in the country, and noting and nothing could be said at present about what could happen in this segment in the future. Remember, India is also a big country and a big economy, and it, both people inside and other countries that are trading with India have, are watching what's going to happen. And, India's been mostly against cryptocurrencies. But anyway, the Reserve Bank of India and the Union government have not given any sort of recognition to cryptocurrencies, and therefore they are not legal in the country currently. So in case you didn't know that, cryptocurrencies are not legal in India. I think we all knew that, but it is a big question what's going to happen there. But I can tell you, I'm sure that India, they do not want to miss out on being a part of the future of finance and trade, right? And the future of finance and trade is built on the blockchain, which is the CBDC. And that leads me now, I'm going to give you 30, I don't know if anybody's still here today, there's a lot of heavy news, but I just gonna get a water, and then I will come back, and then it is news. That will be quick, but please allow me 30 seconds. Back on track. That's important. And here we are, live from Ukraine. I mean, I'm always live from Ukraine. Now it's just funny to talk about it, right? I've always been live from Ukraine. What I wanted to point out today was, what are we seeing today? I mean, what are the news updates there? So Russia withdrawing troops from the Ukrainian borders. I don't know I guess if you follow this, just anything, then you will know it, right? So I think that this is the biggest news of the day, that they are slowly ending their military military, drill or whatever they were doing there. And yeah, so they're going back. But the question is, are they really going back? I mean, so here we go. So in Russia, all U.S. predictions about the Russian invasions are called fake. So, we still have, Russia saying that, and it's not about what I believe in this case, right? You gotta be careful about talking about political news on channel. So I only can refer to what we take from the mainstream media. Moscow has denied plans to invade. I think that's a good thing, arguing that its troops are located near Ukrainian borders for training and that it has the right to move freely on its own territory. And I think that's right? I think that Russia is allowed to have military operations in Russia. I think nobody can disagree on that. I mean, goddammit, Denmark is allowed to have Danish military exercises in Denmark. I think that's their right. The sovereign right. So I think that's what they do. However, I think, and this is maybe even one day ago, and I think this is maybe the most disturbing news, and gives you a little bit of an insight of what could potentially, maybe, this is not over. Blows the sky. Now, I have tried to dig in a little deeper in this, and I couldn't get really smart on that. After recent statements about the invasion of Ukraine, there were problems with air travel. It's not completely true that there are problems with air travel, and I wanna, and you can go in and look at that. And I do wanna, you can just go into the airport in Kiev, and you can see that lots of flights are still coming. However, this was rumored in the news. A SkyUp plane was flying from Portugal to Ukraine, was forced to land in the Moldovan capital. Okay. So, and it's not true, not SkyUp, but one of the world's largest insurance companies, which is Lloyd's. That's what we need to write here, Lloyd's. And you all know Lloyd's, right? I probably spell it. I know there's some mistake here. They have decided to suspend flight insurance in Ukraine and aircraft owners and so on. So there was some talk about that Lloyd's wouldn't want to reinsure airplanes over the airspace of Ukraine. That, of course, caused for a little bit of a, I mean, that could cause for a little bit of problems, right? If you would completely isolate Ukraine and people here. I mean, it's okay. You also gotta understand that when Biden says we urge all U.S. citizens to come home, you better come home, because I mean, it could potentially maybe be war. It's just like, and the ones that left, yeah, that's mainly people that were like, yeah, let's just get home. Let's get the fuck out of here, because now it seems like, the people working here, right? So let's go home and get a vacation. Like the teachers of my daughter's private school that I'm paying a fortune for. We both know, me and the teachers, that nothing is happening there. And now my daughter, anyway. So I think it's, again, just this fear mongering. But there's this is like kind of like 1 to 2 days old news, and of course the G7, they're ready to cause large scale and immediate consequences for Russia's economy. We knew that too, right? So there is not so much. There is one other thing that I do want, this I wanted to point out a little bit, just a little bit, because 2 more planes with U.S. military assistance arrived in Ukraine as part of a $200 million package. It's funny how we always read that, this country, America is helping Ukraine and Germany is helping Ukraine, but they're not sending weapons, and so many countries are helping Ukraine. But make no mistake, nothing is for free. No free lunch on Wall Street. They ain't helping. They're giving them a loan. They're giving them a loan. So either they send them, I love how the media portrays it. They're helping. Yeah, they're sending them weapons through a loan, and they would just love if Ukrainians would, blow those bombs up in the air, going nowhere, because you still have to repay. Still got to pay your debts. That's how much they care. You see, it's a little bit like, oh, Uncle Joe, he cares so much, and Germany, they care so much. They care for poor Ukraine. But all they do is basically, it's almost like you compare, they're going to give him a loan to buy weapons, or maybe not even a loan to buy weapons. Maybe they just send the weapons, overprice them. Maybe a bomb, I don't know, cost $200, and they're going to make a little invoice of $400, and there you go. We helped you. And even if they're not going to use those bombs, no return. I'm sorry. We're not going to take them back. No. You owe us. You owe me. You understand? You owe me now, which means I own you. Anyway, that's just how we can think about it. So Sweet 16 and 17, if you understand what we're talking about. This morning, 2 planes arrived in Kiev with American deployment assistance to strengthen Ukraine's defense. This part of the $200 million, I mean, there's so many billions that Ukraine already owes the West. It's unbelievable. Includes ammunition and grenade launcher charges and whatever. I like that. We're together with Ukraine. Yeah, we are together forever. Like Sister Shelly and Brother Jamal. Right? That's how that goes down.